Hello, this is a fractions, decimals and percentages question from an IGCSE paper from January 2021, and it is on the foundation level paper. So I'm going to go through each of them at a time. I've actually kept them all on the screen here, so I know they'll be a bit smaller than they normally would be for one of my videos, but that's okay. Hopefully we can then use what we've used on one of the questions to use it for perhaps one a bit later. So that's why I've kept them all on the same page. So number one is write 0.57 as a fraction. Note I didn't say 0.57. Why is it not 0.57? 50 is 5 tenths. What column is that 5 in there? Tenths, so it's 5 tenths. So it's 0.57. As always with me, you get extra things added into my videos. So 0.57 as a fraction. So how do we convert a decimal to a fraction? Now, if some of these you'll probably know off the top of your head. For this one, let's consider the place value. So I'm going to do is put 0.57 in almost like a mini place value grid. Okay, so when we've got a fraction, as you can see, I've got one here ready. The number that we're going to have at the top is everything after, is every digit. So start from the first non-zero digit number after the decimal point. Okay, so here you've got 5, 7. Just have to be careful how I said that. No, you've got to include anything that's not a 0, because the thing is you might have a 0 in the middle maybe. Okay, so the first number that's not 0 is the 5. So obviously carry that on, and that is the number that goes in your numerator, which is the top. What number are we going to have on the denominator then? The way we do this is we look to see what is the value of the smallest digit, so the one furthest to the right. So here it's 7 hundredths. So therefore, the denominator for our fraction is going to be hundredths. Okay. It won't, you might have, perhaps if you had a number that says 0.057, that would be 57 over 1000. You see the difference? So 0.057 would be 57 over 1000. I know I've not got that on there as well, but it's worth just giving you that comparison. Okay, next one we have write 0.02 as a percentage. Decimal to percentage. A good part for revision actually is having I've got this like little triangle thing that I do where I've got like a fraction and then converting to a decimal, converting to a what's the other one? Percentage. Couldn't think there. And you just think, what are the methods to go from one to the other? So write 0.2 is 0.02 as a percentage. So when we convert from a decimal to a percentage, easy, multiply it by 100. How do we multiply by 100? We move so many spaces to the left or to the right. Multiplying by 100, you're going to be moving 2 spaces to the left, if that's coming through. If I'm doing this, I think it might be in the opposite direction. So we're going to move left because we're multiplying by 100. So we're going to end up with 2%. Remember, we don't just add zeros. We don't just take zeros off. We've got to think we're moving left or right on the place value grid. I have another video on this. Have a look on my videos. All right, next one, part C is write 72 over 84 as a fraction. You're like, well, it's already in a fraction in its simplest form. Now, you have, for this particular exam, for IGCSE, you have a calculator. So what you can do is you can just simply put in the calculator. I think I put in there. Well, 72 over 84 using the fraction button. And you will see straight away it gives you an answer of 6 over 7. Now, I put obviously a picture of a calculator there. So put that in. So I'm just saying you use that calculator button. You use sort of calculator, the fraction button, and you will get 6 over 8. just in case you're watching this, just to sort of understand fractions, decimals, and percentages, and knowing, well, what do we do if we can't use a calculator? You are going to look for a common factor for 72 and 84 and divide the top and bottom by that number. And keep going until you've got your smallest number. Okay, quite often some people say, oh, we always halve it. So if I halve that, that's going to give me 36. If I halve that, it's going to give me 42. And then keep, you could keep doing that maybe, but you're always looking for a common factor that you divide the top and bottom by. Right then, no, letter D. Write 22 over 5 or 22 fifths as a mixed number. Again, write. You're not asked to show. You just says write. Again, if it's IGCSE or it's a calculator paper, just do 22 over 5 using the fraction button. And the fraction button is, and I'm just, when I do this, it's always really, really weird because I'm looking at it backwards. Okay, fraction button is there. It's there. There. You can see it in there. I'm trying to show you there. There it is, that one. So just put that in. However, actually how we do it is, how many 5s are there in 22? How many 5s are there in 22? That's your whole number part. Okay, so they're 4. The next thing is, well, what is the remainder? Well, the remainder was 2. That goes as your numerator. What is the denominator on the question? There's a cute little spelling error there, actually, the denominator. I remember doing this last week in a cafe. Clearly I didn't go back and finish it off, clearly. The denominator is the same as the one in the question, which is 5. I'm just going to go over that one again. So now I put all these little arrows and things in here. So yeah, use calculator, it will give you the answer. But the method to do it is actually 22 out of start again. How many 5s are there in 22? So 5, 10, 15, 20. So there's 4 whole 5s. So that is our whole number, our 4. What is the remainder? Well, 20, and I've got 22, so it's a remainder of 2. That is my numerator on the fraction. And the denominator is the one that's in the question already. So it's 5 there. There you go. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to have a go at doing one, say 36 over 5. 36 over 5. What is that? Think, how do I do it? And then check your answer with your calculator. And one of the things I've started doing as a tutor, oops, I haven't put this on there now. I've started, rather than thinking I have to provide students with lots and lots of questions, is I say, well, just come up with some numbers. Add them, multiply them, cancel, create some fractions, create mixed numbers, practice it, and check your numbers using a calculator. Okay. And sometimes if you need a bit of guidance, obviously ask me. Now, I can see that I hadn't done the last question on this, so I'm just going to kind of talk over it now. So it says, work out 1/8 of 624. Again, it is a calculator paper, use your calculator, and it would be 1 divided by 8, and then of means times. So whenever you see that of word in maths, replace it with a times. So it's 1/8 times 624. But just as a quick reminder, basically what we're doing is we're splitting 624 into 8 parts. So 624, I'm just going to do it now, divided by 8 is 78. So if we imagine we had a big bar and it was worth 624, split it into 8 equal parts, you would get 78 in each one. There you go. There you go. That is now, I think that's quite a good reminder of how to convert between fractions, decimals, and percentages. Again, go over that again and just make sure that you're happy with each of those methods. What I will just add before I go on is when you are converting, say, a fraction to a decimal. Now, you will have that. If it's on a calculator paper, you divide the top number by the bottom number. always remember this line here means divided by, as well as just, oh, it's part of a fraction. All right. So like here, so 6/8. Oh, there's 3/4 there as well. So 6/8. So 6 divided by 8, you get an answer of 0.75. Use your bus stop method. So if it's a non-calculator paper and you have to convert a fraction to a decimal, divide the top number by this bottom number. I have a video on bus stop method, so go and have a look. It's on there on YouTube. All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.